What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Funko 411. On today's episode, I've got another high dollar mystery box for us to open up. We've been opening up a bunch lately. Actually, our last video, I had a special guest on, so if you haven't seen that video, go watch it. But we opened up like a $500 Disney mystery box. I won't spoil anything, so go check that one out. But on today's episode, we've got a $300 Boomloot mystery box. I'm pretty excited for this one because there are some Disney Grails in here too. So we'll see what we get. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so like I said, we've got a $300 Boomloot mystery box. I'll give you a little bit of a box breakdown really quick. $300 for the box, $25 for shipping, taxes, and all that. So we're $325 all in. There's only going to be 3 to 4 pops in here. So that means we're going to get something at, pretty high dollar for sure. Because, with 3 to 4 pops, you've got to have something that's a little bit more expensive at least. And there were only 20 boxes in this run. So a pretty small run of boxes because it is a little bit higher, value, a little bit more expensive. Box condition, 8 to 10. It's always like near mint or mint. And then it is guaranteed value. So lowest box value is supposed to be $300. And hopefully right now I've got some of the big hits on the screen. I mean, ones that I would love to see, I'd love to see the Sully or the Mike Wazowski. I'd love to see that Loki. There's a lot of good stuff in there. There's some really cool hits in there. Obviously the big hit is that one in the corner, the upside down Will, Freddy Funko. So we won't get our hopes up for that, but that would be amazing if we got that. But let's go ahead. I think I gave you all the details. We'll go ahead and rip this guy open. And it does look like, it does look like they double boxed it. So that's awesome because, with a Grail box, it is nice that you would double box to be careful for condition and stuff like that. So we got our second box right here. Let's get that out of the way and we'll rip into this. And I'm sure they might be visible. Actually, no, they're not. Still got some brown paper on top, but I will move it over here so there's no peeking. All right, let's take a look at our first one. Having a little bit of a hard time getting it out.
That's what she said.
Here is, it is the Dark Magician Hot Topic exclusive Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, and we got our value up here, $49. That's actually new. I don't think Boomloot used to do that, but I guess, a lot of companies seem to be doing that now as like a way to kind of cover themselves, to show what the value was that they assigned to it at the time of boxing, which I totally understand that because a lot of people who buy the boxes are not YouTubers. They're not people like me and some others who are showing the pops on a video. So it is smart to put the values there to kind of give people an idea of how you were valuing them. But Dark Magician, I'll try not to show the back on the next one. That way we don't kind of spoil things for us. But Dark Magician, $50, not bad. Our second one, what do we got? We've got the Mummy from the Monsters line. This is a good one. And let me feel for that sticker. I'll try to hide it. Here's the back of it without showing you the value as best I can. But there's the back of the pop. Probably a little awkward to try to do that. But yeah, cool pop. I mean, this one I think is probably like actually very similar priced because this is from 14. They did release like 1 or 2 more recently, and those don't have quite as much value. But this one definitely does. Probably 40 or $50, I would think. All right, we've got two more. So we did get 4 pops, but we could have gotten 3 or 4. So that means that we probably didn't get like one of the top hits. But so far, still pretty good. $100. All right, here is our next one. It is Steve. This is the Baskin Robbins exclusive. That's pretty cool. I actually, I spoiled it again. $75, man, that's crazy. This one went up a lot because I remember actually being able to get this one at Baskin Robbins when it came out, but I feel like all the Stranger Things pops like really blew up after season 4. And I think, as we lead into season 5, that final season, these pops are ones that you just want to hold on to because the prices, I think, only have more potential to go up, but there's Steve. You know, it's always funny seeing a pop like this when it's worth $75 and remembering when you could get it for 15 bucks, because it's like, oh wow, I just paid 75 bucks for this essentially. And I remember seeing them available, and I could have bought, you know, a few of them at the time. I don't think I might have bought one. But anyway, Steve, 75 bucks. So I would say between these three, we're probably at maybe $160 worth of value, 170, something like that. Because if this is 75 and these are maybe like 80 or 90 combined or something like that, maybe 100 combined, so maybe like 175 at the most. So that would mean that this one has to be worth at least 125 in order to hit the $300 guaranteed value. So 300 bucks was the lowest we could get. So it has to be at least $125 pop. Let's see what we've got. Our last one is, it's Social Media Freddy. So Social Media Freddy, this is the second version of Social Media Freddy. The first version is a bit older. Wow, $210. That seems a little high. But I mean, hey, if that's right and that's accurate, then I think we did pretty solid. I just wanted to pop in and mention something about the Social Media Freddy. You may have seen this, you may not have, but during Fun Days, Funko had like a stickering issue with certain pops, you know, quote unquote stickering issue, but they allowed people to send back certain pops from Fun Days and get a replacement pop. And it was like a mystery pop and you know, something that was supposed to be as special and valuable as the stuff that they got at Fun Days. And it turned out that Funko started sending these out to a lot of people as those replacement pops. And, you know, I'm mentioning that because obviously the value of this pop has continued to go down a little bit ever since that happened. But I wanted to just let everybody know who's watching the video that I filmed this way before any of that happened. I bought the Boomloot box way before any of that happened. So no foul play on their part or anything like that. Just wanted to give you the heads up because I'm sure some of you heard about that and will be thinking it as you're watching the video. But anyway, back to the video. But we'll take a look at values and see how we did. On $300, I do feel pretty confident we at least got our guaranteed value, but I'm not sure that we got, you know, crazy over the value, but we'll take a look right now. All right, so we've got our values, and for the most part, they were the same except for the Social Media Freddy, but we'll get to that one in a second. We'll start off with the Dark Magician. When they boxed it, it was $49, and now it's $47, so a couple bucks difference. The Mummy was $43 and it stayed at $43. Steve was $75 and it stayed at $75. Now this was the big difference here. The Social Media Freddy at the time, I didn't show you the back, but at the time of boxing was $210, and now it's actually gone down all the way to $135. So this one really plummeted a lot. But here's the thing, I actually want to use this as like an opportunity to kind of loop this back to some of the disappointment I had with that Ralphie's Funhouse boxes that we opened a few videos ago. In that video, some of my complaint was like, you're putting new pops in these boxes and the prices are a little bit overinflated. And then on top of that, you're still only getting right to guaranteed value. So, you know, my position was, hey, if you're making a mystery box like that, you've got to go 10%, 15% over that price of the box to be fair to your customers when you're sticking new pops that you got at wholesale into your mystery boxes. Be fair, give that little bit of extra guaranteed value to, you know, make somebody feel good that I got $120 on a $100 box. If I lose that, you know, that little bit of bonus when I try to resell some of that, then I break even. So to kind of take it back to this, so if I take the value that Boomloot had at the time they boxed this, it was $377. So they gave, you know, a nice little chunk extra beyond what the guaranteed value was. So $77 beyond the guaranteed value. But if I take the values today, where we lost a bunch of money on the Social Media Freddy, I'm still exactly at $300. So no, I'm not like thrilled that we're going to lose like $25 because we did spend $325. So we are losing $25, but it kind of proves the point that when you give that little bit extra, it wasn't a ton extra above the guaranteed value. The customer can still be happy at the end of the day with pops that are right at that guaranteed value if they don't end up making a bunch of money off of it. And to be honest, I'm happy with this. This is 4 pops that I don't usually get in mystery boxes, 4 pops that I don't see all the time. And even though I'm going to, probably lose a tiny bit of money, I would prefer this a million times over any of those boxes from that video a couple videos ago. But I hope that all made sense and you kind of understand where I'm coming from with that. I just think that there's a fair way to kind of have both parties win. You can make money as a business and you can, do right by your customers when you're selling these mystery boxes. And I think, this is an example where that kind of worked out, where, some stuff fluctuated in price. We lost a little bit of money, but it's still a fair box. It's still fair to me, I think. But I want to know what you guys think. Down in the comments, let me know. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Do all that stuff, and I will see you on the next one.